Hello guys, so welcome back to FNC Aquatics. So we came from Julia's Pet Shop and we got this guy. This guy is a honey gourami and he's a male honey gourami. And just to keep him safe, we're gonna put his seatbelt on. And if you watch my previous video, my latest video, the first video we posted after a month, we actually have a new honey gourami, the female one, like 3 days ago. I got her 3 days ago from this video, and yeah, I think she needed a partner because I am planning to breed some honey gouramis, and they're fairly easy. Not really easy, but it's kind of easy to breed them. And look at them. Look at
Look
that's
at
so
that.
cute. That's why I love dwarf and honey gouramis. Look at those little hands. She's saying hi, and she's very excited. So yeah, and this tank is 10 gallons, so I'm starting to remove some plants from the driftwood inside because I'm actually gonna rescape this. Honestly, 10 gallons is not enough for two dwarf gouramis, especially now with the other fishes with their tank mates. It's not really enough, but this tank is established, so I think I can get away with overstocking this tank. And I have a very big hang on back filter in this for this 10 gallon tank. I got that because I am planning. I mean, previously I was already planning to overstock this tank before I even got this tank. So I got that very big hang on back filter, definitely bigger than what's recommended for 10 gallons. So I think we can get away with overstocking this with two dwarf gouramis. The only thing I'm concerned of is their swimming space because dwarf gouramis and honey gouramis really like to swim around. So we're gonna have to maximize some space in this tank. That's why I'm removing the plants from this driftwood because we will be rescaping this mainly just by removing the whole hardscape, the big wood in the middle. Before the neon tetras really like that big piece of wood because they can hide behind it. But now that we have some platies, I added some platies because platies are very active fish. They actually help, bring out some shy fishes like black neon tetras or in general neon tetras are very shy. So I added some platies. They're more active, so they kind of bring out, the other fishes. So also honey gouramis are kind of shy as well, but they're very curious, and you're gonna see here when I put in this metal, shovel thing, and look at this guy. This Ellie, that's my honey gourami, just gets near the shovel thing, and yeah, they are very curious fish. That's one of the things why I love honey gouramis or dwarf gouramis. They are very interactive and very curious. They really know the owner. They familiarize with you, get comfortable with you, and you can like do tricks with them. Before, the former resident of this Tangalon tank was Bloop. So Bloop was a dwarf gourami, and just a fun fact, not really a fun fact, it's actually kind of a sad fact. Dwarf Grammys have a disease called the dwarf Grammy disease, and it's very common in all dwarf Grammys, bred in captivity or sold in pet shops. So if you're planning to get a dwarf Grammy, they probably have that, and that's why Blue passed away last time. He was a blue dwarf gourami, and this time these are honey gouramis. So honey gouramis are not dwarf gouramis. They may be considered like a small gourami. Maybe people will confuse them as dwarf gouramis, but they are not dwarf gouramis. So they don't have that disease. So that's why I'm very excited to keep them because they're gonna stay longer with me. And yeah, so I already removed the hardscape as you can see. So what I'm planning here is I'm gonna move all the crypto cryptocorins, I forgot their name, into that flat surface that we have now. We have a free space over there, and then I'm gonna transfer them all of the cryptocorins into that space. So you're just gonna watch me here. So like I said earlier, honey gouramis and dwarf gouramis are very curious fish, and you can see here while I'm moving the plants. Ellie is always coming up to my hand and trying to nib off some hair, and it was actually very ticklish. So that's very cute. That's why I love them. And I'm just gonna share a fact about cryptocorins. Cryptocorins are actually very sensitive plant. And if you're into aquascaping and aquatic plants, you probably already know that. But what I'm concerned here is if because I'm moving them, I'm actually disturbing their roots and stuff. And cryptocurrencies can be sensitive to that. And what I don't want is them dying off again. But look at this. This is a new shoot. The cryptocurrency had a baby. So I'm very happy with that. Going back, uh, cryptocurrencies don't like to be disturbed. They don't like to be transferred from one tank to another. If they do, they're gonna take time to adjust. Some of them will even die off some leaves. Some of the leaves will rot, and then new leaves to grow out, which was the same case with me when I got the plants. They had the larger leaves compared to this when I got them, but when I transferred them to the tank, the leaves withered away, and I had to wait for like a few weeks until they grew out some new leaves. So yeah, just a fun fact or a quick information about cryptocurrencies. Oh yeah, so that's the final setup. Just move around some plants, but this is not final. I still think this is kind of empty, so I'm planning to get some branches from this hydrophilia. This is one of the first plants I got, and that's what I love about hygrophilia or hydrophilia. I think it's hygrophilia. This is a very hardy plant. I've been transferring this from one a tank to another, and it just survives. And this is how big it is now. And I could just take this out, and it's very easy to propagate because I literally just pulled that one out, and then I could just plant it in a different tank, and it will just grow out again. Yeah, so I'm gonna take two or three in this goldfish tank. And thinking about it, this is actually pretty crazy. I got this plant from Lilia's Petshop also, and I got it for 50 pesos. There was only like one stem for this hygrophilia, but eventually, look at it. It looks like a tree now. So finally, this will be the setup for now. Those are the hygrophilias, and once they grow, this tank is gonna look amazing. There's gonna be a lot more hiding spaces for my honey gouramis, for the tetras, for the kuliloches, and for the platies. So after all of that, it's been like 20 minutes to 30 minutes ish. It's time to take out this guy, our new honey gourami, from his plastic bag into the tank. There we go. He's gonna take time to familiarize himself with this tank, get to meet his new friends, just get comfortable. He's still taking time to acclimate. Even though we've acclimated him in the temperature, the water parameters, it takes time for fish to fully acclimate to the new environment. And look at them. They like each other. Ellie is chasing him around, saying hello with those little hands. That's why I love honey grammies. Look at those little hands. That is so cute. So yeah, that's all for this video. Just a very short video updating you guys with how I'm setting up this tank for my two new honey guramis. Look at them. I love those little hands. So that's all for this video, guys. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next one very soon. Bye bye.